Welcome to day 419 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian, and remember these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DeSoFi. So
Yeah,
today is Hard Fork Day, Brian. Are you super excited?
I am. And as you know, the hard fork will be taking place sometime this morning. It's likely happening as we're recording this video. So by the time you watch this, the hard fork likely is in place. And I have the hard fork right here to
Nice.
prove that it's hard. I'm going to cling it against my coffee mug. It's
Okay.
hard.
Okay. So with the hard fork, what's coming? Like what's coming with the hard fork?
So we're going to get all kinds of things. So number one, we're going to get the ability to do everything that Dow Dao does. So all this Dow stuff is going to be enacted. That's super important. We're going to get to see all kinds of new things with derived keys. Um, I mean, it's just a laundry list of stuff. I don't want to go over everything, but if you have anything to add.
Yeah, well, I think derived keys are something that a lot of people are overlooking. I think that's huge. It's like really huge, not just for DeSo, but for the whole crypto space. Because derived keys on DeSo, it's going to open up a lot of doors for what apps and whether a web app or a mobile app can do. And it's also going to open up MetaMask, and we're going to get to that and
Yeah.
other wallets as well, and the interconnectivity between MetaMask and Phantom and any pretty much any other crypto wallet that can will now be able to integrate into DeSo. And like I said, we're going to get to that in a little bit. But that Dow Dao, the on-chain order book, the first on-chain decentralized order book ever, I think. So a lot of great stuff with this fork. And you're not going to see it today. You're not going to see, it's not like the hard fork hits and DeSo changes. You're not going to see that. But over the next week and further out over the next couple of months, you're going to see a lot of really cool things coming.
Yeah, I think it's going to open up a lot of extra possibilities for all these apps being built on DeSo. I know with NFTZ, we're already looking ahead on how we can use MetaMask. I'm guessing every app is like, hey, we're going to be able to actually integrate MetaMask into things. This is big. So I think you give it a little bit of time. I think most of what we're going to see today are probably some errors, but don't get too frustrated at that. This happens. Not everything is kind of accounted for, I'm assuming. So there could be some errors, but the next several weeks, especially starting next week with Dow Dao, are going to be big for DeSo. I think this is a turning point, and I know I probably said this before, probably several months ago, maybe with the Coinbase listing, but I think that this is going to really kind of open DeSo up to be able to be worked on from a developer standpoint and bring it into the mainstream.
Yeah, it's meta, not meta. Meta, META is meta, so it's
MetaMask.
MetaMask. Okay, because you
Right.
always you always make that E and A, and it's not. It's an E.
Okay, I get it. I get it. I have a hard fork right here, so enough.
Okay, so I want to talk about the whole MetaMask thing. So yesterday we talked about how Emulsified made a post and how we had a conversation with Natter about the implementation of MetaMask into DeSo, or I guess I should say the integration of MetaMask into DeSo. And Natter actually replied to our video yesterday and provided a lot of more information. The details he provided with are really awesome. I also had a chance to speak to Martijn Van Halen, M. Van Halen here on DeSo, who's one of the awesome developers, and he kind of helped clarify some of the concepts that Natter talked about. So I want to talk about how this whole Ethereum to DeSo connection is going to go with MetaMask and how MetaMask is going to be used. So DeSo apps are going to be able to have a MetaMask connection. So if you are, NFTZ, if you're Supernovas, if you're Overcloud or Pearl or any of these other apps out there, Story, you're going to be able to allow for a MetaMask connection. Whereas people don't have to, if they come to your app, they don't have to create a DeSo identity. They don't have to, log in with a DeSo identity, get a seed phrase and all that stuff that, confuses people, pisses some people off, and, maybe alienates some other people. With a MetaMask connection, you're going to be able to just connect your MetaMask. And you're going to do this through something called a compute signature. And that signature will be used as the seed to generate a derived key. So again, the derived key is essentially a subset key that allows people, or apps, I guess I should say, to have access to your DeSo account, but only have certain permissions. Like maybe the app can only allow you to like, and then it would only like, or maybe buy coins, or you can give it specific permissions. And certain apps are going to need different permissions than others. So that signature is going to be used as the seed to generate a derived key. Then that derived key can be used to generate a transaction, which would give the app the permissions it needs by doing three things. Number one, you compute the access hash using the derived key. Number two, MetaMask signs the access hash. So you're probably familiar with this if you use MetaMask. You log into OpenSea, or if you buy an NFT, or you mint an NFT on an outside site, you have to use MetaMask to sign the access hash in order to allow that transaction to take place. So MetaMask is going to sign that access hash. Then you're going to broadcast that transaction, and the derived key can do everything without the need to use DeSo identity. So it kind of replaces DeSo identity, and I think that's huge. Especially for app makers and people who want to be, and apps who want to onboard more people. But here's where it gets really interesting. DeSo is going to automatically send free DeSo. At least this is a plan that Natter has, to a public key if it's associated with a credible Ethereum wallet. So, for example, the example Natter used was, okay, anybody who signs up and their Ethereum wallet holds at least $100 in it, we're going to send them free DeSo, because bots aren't going to have $100 in their Ethereum account. I was talking to Martin about that. He thinks you don't really need to make it 100. You probably make it 10 or 20 or something, and that would be sufficient. But if a wallet has a certain amount of money in it, it's going to get free DeSo. And with that free DeSo, you can take part in the DeSo blockchain, make posts, mint NFTs, etc. So I think that's really good. And then here's something else. Many of you on Ethereum are familiar with something called ENS. It's the Ethereum name service, which allows you to have a domain name. Like we have Krasenstein.eth. And we actually bought that from Alex Toma. Thanks, Alex, for that. But a lot of Ethereum people have these ENS names, and they use them for many things. Like you can add details, you can add like your other social media accounts, you can add your name, you can add your wallet. So if somebody wants to pay you in ETH, they can just pay you to your ENS without having to worry about that long address. But a user it's going to be able to take the data from these users' ENS, pull it into DeSo, and create a profile using that information. So I think that's a really interesting way to kind of onboard people. And then in extra data, they can include extra data in the derived key that will also include a signature proving that the Ethereum address is controlled by the profile creating it. So extra data in the account that was created by the Ethereum address, and that extra data is going to prove that that account is controlled by that Ethereum address. Then the Ethereum address that you sent money to, your account, could also be auto-followed. So, or any Ethereum addresses. So say in a previous life, I've sent Brian money in Ethereum, and then I go and create a DeSo account, and Brian already has a DeSo account. I would automatically be able to follow those who have sent me money on Ethereum. So it kind of brings your social graph into your following graph, I guess you could say, based on people who have sent you money in the past. And of course, this could be optional. You don't have to, auto follow people if you don't want to.
Yeah, and I just want to cut in. I think this is brilliant because it automatically basically creates your profile for you. You have you're following people, you have a basic profile. It kind of takes the legwork out of it. So in Ethereum, somebody on Ethereum can quickly come over, get some free DeSo, and basically have an account already set up for them. And that takes out most of the friction that you'd see when signing up. So something like this could really, really help onboard people on other chains, especially Ethereum. I know they're also going to work with Solana, which you're going to talk about here in a minute. But this is like the start. These are the building blocks of bringing on board the next 100,000 or 1 million users to DeSo.
Exactly. And so Natter went on to say that an Ethereum public key will be equal to the DeSo public key, essentially in this circumstances. And also, you're going to be able to have instant DM access to the people in your Ethereum social graph via DeSo. And what's also interesting, this isn't just limited to MetaMask. You can also do it with Phantom, and DeSo's looking at doing that as well. And of course, Phantom is a wallet for Solana. But there's other wallets for other cryptos that can also be done. So DeSo can really become like the one central hub for Web3, where you don't need to even create a whole nother account. You just connect your existing crypto wallets. Okay, so
Yeah.
you connect your MetaMask. You're still probably going to want to create a username. So there's going to be certain fields that will probably be left blank, and you can fill them in later. But you don't actually need a username on DeSo. You can just use your wallet address. So you don't actually have to fill in additional data if you don't want to. But it opens up so many doors. Like I said, I talked to Martijn van Halen, and I'll just read a quote that he told me after reading Natter's post. He said, "It sounds like a really good approach to me. Finding related wallet addresses in auto follow might be possible, but only makes sense if some more MetaMask users have joined. Obviously, like if there's not a ton of MetaMask users on DeSo yet, it wouldn't make sense, but that's something down the line." He also said, like I mentioned, the $100 in wallet before sending free DeSo makes sense. Maybe $100 is a bit too much. $10 would probably work, he thinks. Basically, you get some button to sign up. You're going to click a button to sign up. It's going to ask you for your MetaMask credentials, and then you're done. Maybe a couple more steps for like a username or profile photo or something. Information that might not be in your ENS. So I think this is like huge news. I think it's huge for DeSo, and I think a lot of people are probably overlooking that because it is so confusing to grasp the concept.
Yeah, and I think this is a huge opportunity for the DeSo Foundation to maybe start reaching out to the Ethereum community and just letting them know, hey, you have a DeSo account within a few clicks. All you have to do is connect your MetaMask. I think this is a great way to advertise. It's a great way to kind of bring other chains onto DeSo. And Ethereum is obviously the most interactive, largest chain out there right now. So great job by the core team. I think this is so huge. I'm just as excited about this as I am about Dow Dao.
Yeah, I think I might even be more excited. So we'll wait and see. I think it's going to be great for apps, and we'll see how it works, like CloudFeed or DeSoFi.
Right.
So easy to create an account if you can do this.
Yeah. So talking about apps, one of my favorite nodes and app, well, soon to be app, I believe, Overcloud. They said that their mobile app is coming this summer. They posted a preview video of it, and you just got to go to their account and look at it. It looks really awesome. Don Hardman is doing an amazing job. If you haven't checked out Overcloud yet, check them out. But this summer, we're going to see some big things happening. And of course, they have their own DAO now. And that brings even more excitement to it because community is part of it.
Yeah, and Brian and I actually bought a bunch of their creator coin so that we get some of those DAO coins. They're offering, if those who buy their creator coin are going to get a percentage of the DAO coins in their DAO. So we're into Overcloud. We're going to be part of the Overcloud DAO. We're excited about that.
Yeah, so yesterday we mentioned that there are some issues with Coinbase moving. If you bought DeSo on Coinbase and you want to move it to your DeSo account, there were some glitches. The transfers weren't always working. But Natter, he posted yesterday morning that the fix for Coinbase has been released, and they were deploying it at the time. So if you were trying to transfer DeSo to your DeSo account from Coinbase, try again. It should work. I'll let you guys on a little secret. Brian and I just bought a bunch of
Wait,
DeSo.
Wait, did you forget who you are?
On that, right?
Brian.
See, I tricked everybody. That was planned. I tricked everybody. And
See, being twins, everybody gets us confused, but sometimes we even get ourselves confused.
well, and to make matters worse, I have a cold and I had NyQuil last night, so I'm a little bit hazy. So I might have forgot who I
So
was.
sometimes if you're a twin and you take NyQuil, you think you're the other sibling.
Yeah, that warning should be on the
Side
label,
effect.
but it isn't. But anyway, we bought a bunch of DeSo on Coinbase last night. Um, I probably shouldn't be saying this because it might drive the price up and we won't be able to buy, but we're going to buy some more probably in the next day or so. That's because we're confident. We're confident where things are headed, and we're confident that the price is pretty darn low right now.
And that's not investment advice.
Not investment
Ryan,
advice.
we might be making like a hugest mistake of our life. Who knows? We
If
don't think
if
we
you
are,
take it
but
as
it's
investment
possible.
advice, then I am Ed.
Don't take it as investment advice. Don't do it. All right. So anyhow, Natter gave an update on Dow Dao, and it might upset some people who have already created DAOs because it's going to create more work for them. But I think in the end, the decision was the right one. So Dow Dao is now changing the way they view their base units. And by base units, it's so Bitcoin has one Satoshi, that's one base unit of Bitcoin. DeSo has 1 billion base units. So it's the one base unit is one billionth of a DeSo. I don't think the DeSo base unit has a name like a Satoshi or anything, but that's how DeSo works. So Dow Dao had the same number of base units as DeSo, 1 billionth. But they're no longer going to be 1 billionth. They're going to be 10 to the 18th power. So 1 over 10 to the 18th power is what one base unit of Dow Dao, of the Dow coins will be, all Dow coins. So this is interesting. The reason for this is because they want to match the same base units that Ethereum and most of the ERC20 tokens have to them. Ethereum and ERC20, over 99% of ERC20 tokens are also 1 over 10 to the 18th power. So that's 1 with 18 zeros following it. So this change was made to allow for ERC20s on Ethereum to be traded on DAO Swap. I think this is another huge move to kind of bring Ethereum users and ERC20 token creators and owners into DeSo, because now with DAO Swap, every single or 99.99% of the ERC20 tokens are going to be tradable on DAO Swap. They're going to be tradable on DAO Swap. So they're not going to have to worry about listing on a major exchange because you're going to be tradable on DAO Swap, which is a decentralized, open source marketplace for tokens, not just DAO coins. I say DAO Swap. I don't think it should be called DAO Swap because now ERC20 tokens are there. But this is huge. And I know, like I said, I think people are probably a little upset because if you have minted DAO coins, you're going to have to remint them. A lot of people minted them on node.deso.org, which is the only node that allows you to mint DAO tokens up to this point. So once this hard fork is initiated, which it will be by the time you watch this video, then the DAO coins are going to have base units of 10 to the 18th power. And you're going to have to remint them with those base units and redistribute them.
Yeah, two things. Number one, this is huge. It's bringing all these other chains to kind of the DeSo community because they can be interacted on DAO Swap. So having these other chains come to DAO Swap, which would then kind of turn them onto DeSo, is a big move. It's just another one of those building blocks building towards the future, and linking up with other chains is important. Number two, if I created a DAO and I already released a bunch of tokens, I'd be pretty mad right now. So I can understand some frustration, but I do think that it's for the better good of the ecosystem. I feel really bad if people did spend a lot of time now they go back and reissue coins and all that. It is going to be a hassle. But with that said,
but have many coins
been
issued? Like, I don't know if, like, I don't think Supernovas or Overcloud have issued any yet. Right?
There's some smaller DAOs that have done so, I believe. I don't think anything too consequential. I don't think anything that really developed too much. So that's good. But I can understand some people being frustrated at it, but just look at it as building for a better future.
I mean, it had to be done now. You couldn't wait until after all these DAOs, after Dow Dao launched and after all these DAOs launched to do it, because then it would have been too late. So I think it's awesome that it's being done now because that's a really important thing that I think Natter thought about.
Absolutely.
So Pearl released another preview of their upcoming app. It's a screenshot. They also mentioned that there's going to be direct US dollar to DeSo transactions, both deposits and withdrawals. And this is going to be can be done at any time. So anytime you want to either withdraw or deposit US dollars or withdraw DeSo, you can do so through the Pearl app. This is huge too. There's going to be custom earnings breakdowns available, and it's a really, really great looking UI. Definitely check out the photo that they posted. The link is above this video and DeSo below it on YouTube.
Yeah, I can't wait. I saw a lot of buzz this morning about it and what they're doing. Uh, it has to be coming soon. I know they're just waiting on the App Store. But yeah, this is just another one of those building blocks I talk about that's going to build for the future of DeSo.
Yep.
So two big accounts that started posting yesterday or early this morning that I'm really excited to see. The Nifty Investor and the Jolly Green Giant. They, of course, are big names on TikTok within the crypto space. The Jolly Green Giant has 332,000 followers on TikTok, and the Nifty Investor has, I think, about 208,000 followers on TikTok. And then they also have followers on other social platforms like Twitter and Facebook and all of that, Instagram. They're posting on DeSo right before this hard fork takes place and right before Dow Dao. I love it. I think that we need to see more big accounts, more big known people start coming here and posting, because that's going to generate excitement. The Jolly Green Giant, he actually signed up 75 days ago, but he hadn't posted. He made several posts yesterday, and both of them, both the Jolly Green Giant and the Nifty Investor, opened their creator coins. They got some buys of creator coins, so that's exciting. The Jolly Green Giant posted saying, quote, "Officially joining the Diamond app revolution. The future of social media is decentralized, and I am here for it. If you want gem picks in crypto, stocks, and NFTs, follow along." And then the Nifty Investor made a post saying, "Making Diamond app my new home." That's awesome. I hope that he really means that, and he really drives some followers to DeSo. I think that could be huge, especially since they're so into crypto. His followers are all about crypto. He also said that decentralized social media is the future, and I'm here to stay, with a bicep. So he's strongly here to stay. And then the Nifty Investor also said that, honestly, the DeSo family is different. This will be big. I'll be spreading the word on my other socials big time. So welcome the Nifty Investor and the Jolly Green Giant. Hopefully we can have you guys on our show and generate some excitement, because I love what you guys are doing.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hopefully we can get them on. Maybe both at the same time. So what were the top hashtags of the last 24 hours, Brian?
Yeah, so number one was DeSo. Number two is Clout Women Unite, followed by photography, music, and NFT. And those are all ones we've seen before. So it's a bit of a boring hashtag day, but...
No, stop. It's not Clout Women Unites up there. Like, you're so out of it today, Brian.
It's the NyQuil, yeah, except for Clout Women Unite.
Okay, so let me tell you about Clout Women Unite. So they made a post.
I can tell them. I actually know.
Are you sure you can do this? You obviously didn't think a big deal about it.
It's just, forgive me, Clout Women Unite, about the NyQuil situation. But Clout Women Unite, they actually made a post saying to tag one active lady in the comments of their post who deserves a diamond shower. So if you know somebody that deserves a diamond shower, a woman who deserves a diamond shower, please tag them in the post that they made. The person commenting also would receive a diamond shower. And their post has already received over 69 comments. Great for the woman community on DeSo. Love seeing that. And once again, I'm sorry.
Yes, and since you're not naming the women who I said were included, I'll do that. Like, Brian can't even read his notes today. So some of the women that were tagged, and I know I can't mention all of them, but I thought I would mention some of them. And if you're left off this list, I apologize. You should be mentioned, but we don't have all day. Michelle Lord, Gake NFT Creations, Vara I can't, this is the name. I'm sorry.
Vera Rashika.
What, say that one? Vara Vishika. Okay. Garden Clout, Maya Does Art, Goldberry, Design Stop, Vita Life, Marshalliosaw, Valeria C, Mayum Japan, D. Marie, Misty S, and like I said, so many more. Sorry for the
It
pronunciation
sounds
of
like
some of
you might
those.
have had some NyQuil last night.
Well, I'm so flustered because this wasn't supposed to be my part of the show. You're supposed to do it, but you obviously
Sure,
are completely out of it.
sure.
But can you handle the top diamonded creators of the last
Yes, the
24 hours? Or you want?
top diamond creators, thanks to Alton Base and Nikolai for putting this list together. Stargazer was number one, followed by Spunk Art, the Nifty Investor, who we just talked about, Krasenstein, us, maybe me, Natter, Jolly Green, which is the Jolly Green Investor. Welcome, and we already talked about him as well. Followed by Om Longs, Zia
Oim, no,
Mead,
Oim, it's Oim.
Oim Longs, Zia Mead, Dr. Rob, and Michelle Lord.
Yeah, and I want to welcome somebody back. According to Open Prosper, Bill Bonker had been gone for 46 days. He just came back. Bill Bonker is actually a troll type account that's, according to them, for quote unquote memes and shit. They liked some posts by Paul Burke, Tori Seller, and Night 10. This was an account that's an OG account that was around since the beginning. It was really entertaining to follow. They had been gone, but they're back, and I hope Billu Bonker, I hope you're back for good.
Me too.
And two community events today. Number one, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time today on Entra is the Entra Community Hangout with Shantron. Then at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Clubhouse is the Astronation Pathfinders room. If you're an Astronations fan, if you hold the NFTs, if you don't, if you want to learn more about their metaverse, definitely check that out on Clubhouse. That room's going to be with Slava, Conchi, DOZ, Michelle Lord, Rhubarb, Miss Katie Ann, GDS, Bitboss, Hindsight Prophet, Alendez, Tobias Schmid, Debo M, Kissers, Jody Bozer, and Spunk Art, plus many more. What Conchi and Slava are doing with Astronation is amazing. It's like a metaverse that starts in space. So definitely check that out. And I think that's all the news we have for today. Good luck with the hard fork. Don't step on it. Don't let it prick you in the foot. And hopefully everything goes well.